Today, I wanted to share about my absolute favorite word to use that gets a few people pretty ticked off with me, but it's given me more joy, more freedom, more ability and to control my life and to be able to do the things that I want to do most often and avoid the things that I don't want to do. Want to know what it is? No. Sometimes I go, no, 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 that's not going to work for me. No, 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 no. And you know what? It's awesome because what is a toddler's favorite word? No. It's no. And from the time that we're little kids, this word gets a lot of resistance from parents. Hey, I am guilty of this too. I really don't like it when my kids say no to me. However, at the same time, I honor it. It's like, yes, I hear you're saying no. And in this case, it is bedtime. So here is your choice. You can either go to bed or mommy's going to get mad because mommy is saying no to that extra bedtime story. Mommy is saying no to you climbing out of your bed for the 4th time. Mommy is saying no to you asking for mommy to read another book and another book and another book and sing a song and cuddle again after mommy has put you to bed because mommy values herself. And this is the things that as moms, as women, oftentimes we're told we're not allowed to say no. We're taught that if we say no, there is something bad that's going to happen to us. And historically, bad stuff happened quite often. I have a different word that I wanted to use instead of stuff, and I'm trying to be good here. It's not easy for me to be good here because I really wanted to use the other word. But Facebook has said no, and they have their own boundaries, and I respect that. I'll just do it somewhere else. Now, here's what happens when you start saying this beautiful, magical word the way it's meant to be used. Not saying no for the sake of just saying no. Not saying no to be a jerk or an a-hole, but to say no because you're protecting something else that's sacred. So I have an example of times I say no that start to annoy my family. It usually falls around family obligations, events that need to happen where I know that this is going to be a complete inconvenience to myself and my children. Now, I still value family. Absolutely, I value family. I also value my priorities, and I value the consistency of my children's schedule, and I value my children not having that anxiety. And I value not having to travel long distances when I know that it's not going to be a situation that lights me up. There are family members that, yes, they're family, and at the same time, they don't feel like family because you know you're going into that environment. Like, you know, those people, you know, it's like that feeling of dread every time you have to show up because it's like, oh God, it's going to be another one of those events where everybody's going to get mad at everybody else. And I'm going to have to listen to this fight, and everybody's going to be picking sides, or maybe they're going to nitpick me on something that really, I don't want to have that conversation with someone. This is something that I deal with that's just for my clients as well. When they're like, well, what do I do when my mother-in-law starts bringing up the fact that she doesn't agree with my home birth? I say, well, first of all, you have your partner who's able to stand strong in the no, and you can shut that down. You don't actually have to have that conversation. You don't even have to tell them that you're having a home birth. It's none of their business. But if they do happen to already know about it, then you just say, no, I'm not doing that. Same thing I tell my clients is like with induction, there's a medical pressure to induce, and it's getting to be to the point where I'm seeing moms that are like being pushed into induction before they even hit 39 weeks. I don't even have time to get into all of the reasons why that is such a bad idea. But the fact is that they have trouble saying no, because there's that fear again, the fear. Well, what if I say no and they don't like it? So when you start saying no, here are two things that are going to happen right away. You're going to feel a sense of relief. You've said no. First of all, it's like, no, I'm not doing that. Oh my God, now I don't have to worry about it anymore. I've said no. Then the next thing that comes up is, oh no, but I said no. So now they're going to flip out. They're going to start trying to push. But you know what? You can still stay firm in that no. If you know why you're saying no and you have something else that you're protecting, like in my case, I say no to family sometimes. It's like, no, I'm not coming to that dinner. Why? Because honestly, I don't feel very well. I know I need to recover. If I do not take that time to rest as I feel a cold coming on, that cold is going to take over. If, however, I take today to rest after I've been doing things all week, then what's going to happen is that cold is not going to even show up. It'll be like, oh, I felt a little bit crappy for the day, and then I'm better now tomorrow. Now I can go back to doing things. Or sometimes it's travel. Sometimes it's like, oh, well, we want you at this event. It's like, no, I'm not taking my kids all the way in the car for this long event. I'm not going to take out that time to try to mess around with my schedule. Yes, I work from home. That's absolutely true. Yes, I do have my own business. That's absolutely true. And I also have priorities to my business, and I have priorities to my kids, and I need to have their routine, because if they don't have their routine, when I am doing all these things, I'm on calls all day. Sometimes as soon as the kids go off to school, I'm on a call. I'm on either a class or I am talking to someone and networking. Like that's pretty much what I do all day. So I'm networking with people, I'm coaching people, I'm helping people, I'm teaching classes, I'm attending classes. So I have a lot of things that I'm doing. And for me to then just be like, oh yeah, somebody else has picked a schedule and it doesn't work for me, but if I don't show up, they're going to be upset. No, I'm like, you know what? We have the internet now. This is not a time where nobody is going to be able to see me. I can zoom in. So sometimes what I do is like, you know what? I'm not saying no to family. I'm not saying no, I don't want to interact with you. It has to be on my terms, because I protect my priorities. And you can do the same thing with your in-laws and with your family members, with your kids even. Like your kids are like, mommy, I need you to attend this thing and I need you to make cupcakes for this event. And I want you to do this. And you can say, no, no. But the other moms are doing it. No, not in this family. Now, here's what I am willing to do. I am willing to sign off on your permission form. I am willing, if you want to have some special hot lunch, I will pay for that. I will even arrange for another mom or maybe a family member. It's like somebody who's going to be there for support for you for this event, but it's not going to be me. If you want to go to that birthday party, guess what? Mom's on a call today. So we're going to have to figure something out, because no, I cannot take you. However, if you want to go, we will find a way around it, but it's not going to be me. I'm not sacrificing what I need to do because this is an important priority. Other times, I say no to other things. No, I'm not going to take on that client because that client is not aligned with who I want to work with. No, I'm not going to go and get that book right now. No, I'm not going to attend such and such event. I will catch the replay. No, I'm not going to date that person. Sure, he seems very eager and he's giving me attention, but he's not prioritizing me. So I had a few attempts to date last year, and I was very clear in my boundaries. This is another thing that no does for you, ladies, especially, is it allows you to decide what you will allow and what you won't. So that instead of you trying to work on somebody else's timeline and bend over backwards to basically make them happy and more comfortable, which is what we as women have been taught to do, here's what you get to do. You get to have your priorities. And then you find the man or the friend who is willing to work with that. And the really awesome thing about this is that I have people that come out for networking, and I actually have a call booked for tomorrow from someone who has a timeline, like a time zone that's like so much further out than mine. And I'm like, okay, what is your time zone? And she's like, oh, I'm all the way in Brisbane. I'm like, oh, and she's like, yeah, but I'll work around your schedule because I know that you and your friend that we're going to meet with tomorrow is like, you guys, like your moms, and you need to be able to have your priorities. And I'm going to work around that because you're providing me with some valuable information. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you get it. So I worked it out with my friend because we are on the same time zone and we have priorities, taking care of our daughters, or her daughters and my children. And we're like, okay, what time works for us? And then she said that she'll do whatever time. So once I had that scheduled, now it works. You need to protect your time is what I'm getting at. And if you don't, if you keep saying yes to everything, you can't protect your time. When you start saying no, this allows you to start saying yes to the things that matter. And when you say yes to the things that matter, you get a lot more freedom. So this weekend, or next weekend is Father's Day weekend, and my kids are going to be with their dad. And I was going to spend it just with my dad for Father's Day, but he's working, so we'll have to figure something else out. But I'm not traveling anywhere because, first of all, my kids aren't going to be with me, so it doesn't make sense for me to travel anywhere. I'm going to Zoom in for my mother's birthday and wish her happy birthday and be in that space, because virtual and together it basically feels the same for me at the level that I'm able to do. And I decided I'm not even going to be home. I'm going to go to the beach. Why? Because another thing that I've learned how to say no to is no to staying inside the house and working all weekend when I have just spent all day, every day from Monday all the way until Friday. And sometimes I even take calls on the weekends. Sometimes I do extra stuff on the weekends. But I know that if I don't say no to working my tail off through the weekend, in addition to what I've already done this week, like seriously, this week has been epic. And I had things come into my schedule that I wasn't expecting, more connection, and it's awesome. And at the same time, I've had to move things around, but I know what to say yes to, which is networking, calls, talking to people, connecting, coaching. If I get a client, I'm going to be saying yes to them. And I'm going to be saying no to anything that's going to block those priorities. If my children have a birthday, which they did 2 months back, like Hunter had his birthday in May and Michaela had hers the very end of March. Again, it's like, no, I cannot do this event on this day. It's my children's birthday. No, I promised my kids I would do a day at the beach with them. So this day doesn't work. These are the days that I have. When you protect that, then you have a much more balanced life. When you protect that by saying no, even when people don't like it, that's on them. And one of my awesome mentors, Annie Lala, actually has a name for this. She calls it the coping dance. So when people start grumbling because you're saying no to them when they really expected you to have that obligation to do it, you just watch them. And instead of feeling that like, oh no, I'm in trouble now, they're not going to like me because I said no, it actually allows them to cope recognize that the relationship is still important to you, that you're not saying no to them as a person. You are saying no to the event or the request that they have, because that's what you're really saying no to. You're not saying no to them unless you really don't like them, in which case, bye, Felicia, right? I mean, you don't want people that are draining your energy who just take advantage of you either. And this also allows you to magnetically attract people who respect you and love you and will honor your time and will honor your no and not take it personally. And the ones that do take it personally because they think that they can just get something from you are not going to keep pushing, because they're going to know, oh, no, this person I can't take advantage of. Well, I can't exactly do anything with this, so I'm going to go somewhere else and try to leech off of someone else. So you lose the leeches. No is my absolute favorite word. It is my most favorite word, and I am so happy that once I hit my 30s, once I had my kids and I had my empowered birth with Michaela, and I realized that I could say no to any intervention I didn't want, no to going to the hospital, no to any family members telling me that I should do something that I didn't want to do or how to raise my kids. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. And then they're like, well, but that's what you're supposed to. No, I'm not going to do that. But everybody else is, no, I'm not going to do that. It's like, no, that's not how I want things to be. No, that's not how I want my house to look. No, that's not how I'm going to raise my kids. No, that doesn't work for me. And I just keep saying no. And it's okay to say no, because when you know what does work for you, and you're not just saying no just because you are coming from a place of negativity, but it's no because you already are aligned in what you want for your truth to be, that's powerful. My best friend Jenny said no quite a bit during her pregnancy, and it made me so happy to see her so happy and so free. This is also what I teach my clients, is that they get to say no, where a lot of people, like the mom groups, are like, oh, you can't say no to that. You can't say no to that. It's like, do you want to say no? Yeah, I want to say no. Okay, well then say no. You don't want it. Oh, but aren't I supposed to? Yeah, who cares? You don't have to should on yourself. You can watch the doctors do their coping dance. You can watch your family members do their coping dance. You can watch your partner do their coping dance. Your children can do the coping dance. Your friends, anybody randomly, like even customer service people. I can get what I want from customer service because I just do my sparkly personality, and I also go in knowing exactly what I will accept and what I won't accept. I also do this when I'm buying things. I know exactly what price range I'm going to spend. I know what I'm looking for. And if it's not in the store, nobody is going to be able to sell me into something I don't want or need, because I already know what I want. So I need to go and get ready for my next call with someone who is just absolutely fantastic. And I've interviewed her twice now. Once as an empowered birth story, and second as, like, she's the parenting expert. She helps parents who have children with behavioral issues. And she's just, the interview I can't wait to put up, but I've got a little bit more things that I need to say no to this week in terms of getting all of that ready. And I had calls to do, so I have to still get that up. But once it's up, I'll share it because it's so awesome what she does. And I have another call with her, and we're going to be discussing some things, and I can't wait. I'm very excited. Anyway, I gotta go, and I will talk to you soon. Go start saying no and see how it transforms your life. Bye.